Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
Today, we're drinking bourbon. Did you try to mess me up?
No, it'll work out. That'll look great. Because
Okay.
I thought you were just going to pause and I was going to tell you, I was going to give you the line. I thought that maybe that's what you were going for. But we actually said those at the exact same time in the same cadence.
I was trying
so
to
we can
ignore you.
totally leave that in.
Yeah, let's leave all this in.
Okay.
All right, Ben. A lot of our viewers and a lot of other people out there are fans of Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's actually hard to find a Buffalo Trace product in your local liquor store.
It's getting increasingly more difficult to even find basic Buffalo Trace.
But the funny thing is, and it is kind of funny actually, if you think about it, you're walking right by Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1 and Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 2
every day.
every day.
So
Let's bring them on out here.
we're going to do a
Head-to-head
budget Buffalo Trace shootout. We have BAM Ancient Age and BAM Benchmark 8.
Those aren't Buffalo Trace products.
They sure are, Greg. So,
Let's explain.
yeah, so Buffalo Trace has 3 mash bills.
1, 2, and 3 to make
Yes.
it easy.
Yeah, and that's what they call them. They call them mash bill 1, mash bill 2, mash bill 3. So mash bill 1 is their normal mash bill. They don't call it low rye, but it's their lower rye.
Yep.
And they only call it that because mash bill 2 is the higher rye.
Not low.
So that's, yeah, and I think it's still low by
not-
high
not
rise
crazy.
standards.
Sure.
Yeah, so mash bill 1 is Benchmark,
Oh, yes.
Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, Stagg Jr., George T. Stagg. Am I leaving any out?
There's probably something. They have a couple others that
I don't think I'm leaving anything out.
I don't know what Old Carter is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
not
kind
sure.
of forgot about
Yeah.
that one.
There's a couple other obscure lines that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
those
sell
are-
them up in here, so we never see them.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those.
Right.
I think it's a regional thing, though.
Right.
And then mash bill 2 is Ancient Age, Blanton's, Elmer T. Lee, Rock Hill Farms, Hancock Reserve. Think that's all of those. Then, of course, mash bill 3 is the weeded one, which is the Wellers and
Weller
the
line,
Pappies.
yeah.
So I suppose we could bust out the Weller Special Reserve to do all 3 mash bills, but that one's hard to find and it's not as budget as these.
Yep.
So we're gonna do a side-by-side of these.
These are like $15-ish.
Let's start out
Yeah, I
with
was
this
thinking.
one.
Right.
Go mash bill 1 and then mash bill 2.
Okay, so $15-ish 1 liters, right? Because that's a liter, I think.
Yeah, these are both liters. Yeah, I think they're maybe 17.
Okay.
I had a tiny bit of water left in my glass from rinsing it, so I want to make sure that I'm being fair, because the last thing either one of these need is more water.
The commentary begins.
The commentary begins.
Ooh, that was a big pour.
That's okay, it's 80 proof. Oh, okay. So, we have both had both of these bourbons.
Yes.
I almost can't smell anything. No, there we go.
So Buffalo Trace,
There's a little bit of bourbon in
Eagle
there.
Rare. The others, to be honest, I don't have very often, but Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare I have often enough that I should be able to recognize that. So here we go. Light brown sugar, as in like maybe someone's baking something in the house next door, kind of light.
Like if someone's baking a pie next door, for example, right?
Yeah.
And there's brown sugar in it,
Yeah.
and they set it on the windowsill, right? And the steam coming off of the pie creeps over and forms a hand that beckons you to the pie, like in Disney movies.
Now I'm going to put this steaming pie on the windowsill to cool. Now, no matter how many beckoning fingers that steam morphs into or how badly it tries to sneak its way up your nose, I want you to resist the urge to levitate off the ground and float towards the pie.
Doesn't seem too hard.
All right, go stand over there. Oh, no, you don't.
You're just smelling the finger from that hand. And this already went off the rails.
Just let it go. Let it go.
So anyway, light brown sugar is what we're getting at. Yeah, at first I couldn't smell anything on this, and now it's
I'm getting graham cracker now.
I could see that a little bit actually.
Yeah, I did a really large pour for this one.
Did I mix these two up?
No. You did this one and this one.
Weird.
I hope.
I'm getting a little graham cracker off both of them. I'm kind of going back and forth in the nose, but
Getting something else too that I don't recognize. But all of the notes on the nose are definitely light.
yeah, for sure. That's 80 proof. What are you going to do? These are both aged at least 36 months, as it says on the neck. So 36 months and 4 minutes is how old these bourbons are.
Yeah.
So
And there's an accountant somewhere who's yelling at somebody saying, I want those 4 minutes, damn it.
yeah, get it down to 3. Because what's going to happen is eventually, people with their nonsensical rage towards Buffalo Trace products, not that they're not great bourbons, because they are, for sure. Yeah. And they definitely deserve, accolades, but we all know how overhyped things have gotten.
Yeah.
Hopefully, through this video, we will create that kind of demand for these two bourbons.
Wouldn't that be
as well.
awesome?
Yeah. And then that accountant will be like, get that down to 36 months and 3 minutes. All right, let's get in for the tasting here. We've talked enough. Let's go
back
for it.
on the rails. So do I go or do you go?
I can't taste it yet, so maybe you start going.
It is sweet.
It's
surprisingly sweet, to be honest with you.
It is. It's very sweet.
It's almost like a toffee candy bar kind of sweet.
And
With a little bit of pepper burn. It's a nice pepper, to be honest, though.
Really? I'm not getting much of that.
It's not like really aggressive on the pepper, but it's got a nice burn, actually on the underside of my tongue, which is, I don't normally get that there.
Do you usually put bourbon there?
Yeah, you make an effort to put bourbon all over your mouth.
I don't usually rinse it underneath the tongue.
Well, I mean, how do you stop it from, it goes where it goes.
So much editing in this video. You know what, this is going to be the stupidest commentary I've ever made on a bourbon, but here goes.
Okay.
This has potential, and it's almost as if they gave it a little more time in the barrel and a little more proof.
Yeah.
It would be an outstanding whiskey.
So how about this?
Like it almost might turn into Eagle Rare.
Well, I mean, that's 10 years. That's a pretty exceptional whiskey.
No, the flavors that are there, to be honest, I haven't historically liked Benchmark at all.
Yeah.
I bought these because I wanted to try the base model offerings because that's a good experiment to do. See where your whiskey comes from. If you're going to drink the expensive version, try the cheap version. See what the roots of it are.
Yeah.
There's nothing really offensive about it. I mean, it's youthful a little bit, and sometimes when I drink it, which is not very often, I kind of get that.
Getting youth.
Yeah, I get a little bit of that youth grain, but I'm not getting that quite so much tonight.
It's funny when I think of youthful, I think of like underdeveloped corn. Like it's clearly not spent enough time in the barrel. Mm-hmm. But if you want that, then buy Buffalo Trace.
Right.
But I like it. I like the mash bill and I like the whiskey. it needs more time, but if you want that, then buy Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
But there's a note on there that's not a traditional flavor, but this is how my mental map describes it. If Buffalo Trace is a pair of jeans, this is a pair of corduroy pants. I'm getting a corduroy type note. Like it's just not quite there. I think somebody will get that.
So, you tasted someone's pants? And that's how you know what corduroy pants taste like? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Oh.
Just imagine the flavor of corduroy pants.
I got nothing. I don't know what corduroy pants taste like. So are you saying like
just...
Because I would feel like corduroy pants are more complex than normal jeans because they got all the ridges and...
No, I feel like it's missing something because it's not as strong, it's not as normal, as everyday as jeans. I don't know. That's where my mind went and I let it...
So you're not saying this tastes like pants,
No,
you're just saying
no.
if it was pants, it would be corduroy.
Well, yeah, I would agree, yeah. And you'll notice that people don't normally walk around in corduroy. It happens from time to time.
I wasn't going to judge you either way. I just wanted a clear picture of exactly, learning about bourbon and learning about my co-host at the same time.
Well, that's how it works.
And we're still only on the first bourbon here.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
move on to
All
the
right.
ancient age here. So this is mash bill 2. This is the higher rye. It's considered Buffalo Trace's high rye mash bill, but
Before you move on, but as you're thinking about it, I gotta say I actually really like the flavor of this. It does need less water in it or more proof, and it needs more time. But again, that's Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare or whatever.
yeah, I'm not hating on this the way that I have historically.
Yeah, it just...
I think what this would be good for, you go to bed at night, you want to keep a drink next to the bedside in case you wake up with dry mouth and you want to hydrate. This would be perfect for that.
Oh, there's plenty of water in it.
Thirst quenching, just really kind of...
It's a flavored water.
Yeah, this is the Gatorade of bourbons.
I would totally agree with that. Okay, mash bill 2, totally different. Higher rye. We don't know the percentages, but we definitely think it's higher than this one.
It is, for sure. But yeah, they don't release their percentages. But all right. Definitely get a little bit of that root beer barrel. We were actually just talking before we started filming this, we were talking about some different notes that we've gotten off of high rye stuff and rye whiskeys in particular. Now this isn't, like I said, I don't think it's like probably even in the 20s from what I've read speculation-wise.
Sure.
So it's not ridiculously high rye, but it's definitely there. I mean, you can...
There's something, yeah.
There's some nice sweetness to this one too, actually.
Mm-hmm. But there's definitely some aromas, but it's not powerful.
I feel like there's way more going on here though with the Ancient Age than there is with the Benchmark.
Yeah,
And that's probably the rye kicking that up a little bit. Rye is a
little bit.
bold flavor, it's spicy, and it can definitely add a little bit of a bite to something.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in for
Right on,
it
go for
before
it.
this video ends up being 20 minutes long.
This is a bourbon that should be underneath the little horse statue.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you put this to 93 proof, gave it about 6 years,
And put it in a nice bottle.
released it as a single barrel, put it in a fancy bottle, and then marketed the shit out of it for decades until it became this ridiculous, unattainable,
Obsession.
overhyped bottle. Perfect.
But, okay, so, all right, all kidding aside, it actually does taste like Blanton's. It tastes like, maybe like Blanton's on ice, and then you let the ice melt. And that's, to be honest, that's exactly what happened. They didn't use ice, they used water, but you get the picture. But it does absolutely taste like Blanton's.
I don't have an open Blanton's. I mean, we could open one, but
Nah, it's
at this
okay.
point, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's worth it. I just
not worth
killed a bottle the other night. But yeah, you can tell it's definitely in that same mash bill flavor profile for sure. I think the Ancient Age is considerably better than the Benchmark.
I think I actually like both far more than I think I should. As a bourbon reviewer, I think it's my job to knock these and say that they're way too young and way too watered down.
Hey, here's the thing though. You and I have always been kind of champions of budget bourbons.
Budget bourbons are awesome.
Yeah, but they're not all awesome.
Not all, but when you find a good one, dig in. But I think both of these clearly have a couple of weak points. They're young and they are watered down. It's totally noticeable. But if you can get past that, and on both of these I can, this really does taste like Bland's. This really does taste like Buffalo Trace because they are just watered down.
And less age, but
And less age, but
here's the thing that I will say about these is that As far as budget bourbons go, I don't think these hold a candle to a couple other products that are around the same price.
That's a hard standard to live
Like
up
these
to.
are less than even, like,
So what, $17 we said?
yeah, like I would take an Evan Williams Black Label over this for sure.
These are pretty sweet.
That
would be
just because the Evan Williams, it comes in at 86 proof, but it's still around the same price.
but a little bit more age, we think. We don't know, but we think it's a little bit more age.
Well, it's 4 years, yeah. So it's 4 years versus 36 months and 4 minutes. So like that's where I kind of come in with these. I definitely would take the Ancient Age over the Benchmark. The Ancient Age, I really don't mind as a budget pour. Now it doesn't hold up to, if you're drinking anything else before these are gonna fall off a cliff. And what I would say is these are budget bourbons that are proofed way down, that have decent flavor, and they're smooth on top of being proofed down. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's just nothing aggressive about it.
They're too smooth, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I've had 80 proof stuff that, like take even a Basil Hayden's, 80 proof, but it's like aged longer and it's a higher rye than both of these. But it's considerably, and as much as, Basil Hayden's could definitely benefit from higher proof.
Agreed.
And that's a whole nother video. At the same proof point is considerably more complex and deeper and rich. And when we're doing a video talking about how deep and rich and complex Basil Hayden's is compared to something, and I'm not trying to trash Basil Hayden's, I'm just saying it's kind of known for being a pricey, low proof, smooth bourbon.
But I think there are a lot of people out there that actually that's what they like.
That's what I was long-windedly trying to get at, is that if you want a little bit of a bourbon flavor that's not offensive, that's watered down to 80 proof, but then smooth on top of that.
Yeah.
I would say this is smoother than other 80 proof bourbons.
Yeah, I think for a lot of starter bourbon aficionados, I mean, these are great choices. Start here and decide, is this, you just made a mash bill 1.5. That's 1 + 2 divided by 2.
How quick you were at the math there.
I'm not going to do it.
That's the most amazing whiskey I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace should bottle that.
Oh, wait.
And then
Is that mash bill 3?
people should wait in line. This is mash bill 4, actually, now. Yeah, not bad, actually, mixed together.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Anyway, in short, before this goes, again, to be a 20-minute video, which it probably already is.
Nah, people are enjoying it.
I would say definitely the Ancient Age is, I would take that over the Benchmark.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you want to give a plug to your weird lower shelf over here?
Oh, yeah. We
to
do have to
explain.
do that at some point. So Benchmark, within the last, 2 years ago? Within the last...
year and a half, something like that.
Yeah, they released a whole...
Flight.
like a kind of like a little side note to Benchmark where they released 5 extra versions of it. They have top floor, small batch, single barrel, bonded, and full proof. They're only available in Indiana. I was lucky enough to get all 5 bottles.
You had a friend that was there. Got
No,
all
my
5.
daughter was actually there.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
so-
probably a friend.
Yeah. I mean, she's a friend too, I suppose, but parent first, friend second. That's how you do that. But no, she was down there for a wedding or something like that, and was like, "Can you stop in and see if they have these?"
Yeah.
So I did get a hold of all those bottles, and there's
She's
actually
also a mule.
yeah, she's the bourbon mule for like transported across state lines. So we should actually do a flight of those because aside from how much this is a pretty weak bourbon, there's some really good ones in that.
Yeah, I mean, a bottle of Bourbon Benchmark
Yeah, the full proof is really
and the
good,
full
actually,
proof
yeah,
is
so.
actually pretty awesome.
Anyway, well, this has been a couple of basic, bottom line, budget,
You can do it. Keep going.
Benchmark, Ancient Beige, Buffalo Trace products.
Alliteration is your friend.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for suffering through this video. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Cheers.